Okay, good day everyone. So I am Rochelle Balili and discussing about the purchasing transportation services. For the introductions, this program aims to provide a business manager with tools and information when negotiating contracts for transport services, including financial management, physical distribution, modes, career mix, supplier evaluation, and performance management. For shipping business big and small, transport or transportation procurement is a major part of your budget. The transportation process involves acquiring high quality carriers for affordable rates, mapping out your supply chain, and bidding on rates for the best deals. For the mode of selection, the initial decision requires the buying from to the select and appropriate shipment mode. Each of the mode has a specific operating and cost characteristic, and the buying professional must read them in selecting the most appropriate transportation law. So the most basic selection decision is trade-off between cost, reliability, and speed. The cost of shipment is usually tied to the speed of the mode. In certain situations critical, the cost of shipment becomes less important. However, under more normal operating conditions, the mode's record of on-time deliveries and services quality are more important measures of effectiveness. So the modal split is used for the little determined by time pressure and product mix, the final shipment destination, and competitive market forces. And the first one, transportation mode of transportation services is the rail. So railways are composed of trace path for a right of way on which wheeled vehicles are bound. Rail transportation also includes monorails and maglev, which are more recent developments of guided rail technology. They have an average level of physical constraints and a low gradient is required, particularly for freight. Heavy industries are traditionally linked with rail transport system, although containerization has improved the flexibility of transportation through its connectivity with road and maritime. Rail is the land transportation mode offering the highest capacity with a 23,000 tons of fully loaded coal unit train being in heaviest load ever carried. Gauges, however, vary around the world, often challenging the integration of the rail system. Thank you.
Truck. The truck mode is used to transport a variety of perishable consumer goods such as fresh meat, dairy products, baked goods, and beverages. So when we say truck mode, no, is to the only transportation mode that can be used to ship from point to point. So then motor carrier rates and price competition. So the average revenue per intercity ton mile realized by the motor carriers was $6.27. The average rail revenue was 29 cents per ton mile. So however, it is safe to suggest that in general trucks rates are lower than rail rates on small shipments on high valued commodities. So there is also strong rate competition between owner operators engage exempt commodity movements and railroads. Then motor carrier service. Motor carrier service, realizing that the most shippers are interested in more than transportation, some carriers have formed third-party logistic enterprises. So many of the firms have invested in the new technology in order to foster better coordination with their customer. Then air, air the domestic air cargo market in 27 was approximately $209.6 billion based on 3.5 billion tons carried over 40.1 billion miles. So the average shipment was 10.8 pounds. So among the major categories moving as a freight are computer components, electronic, fashion goods, and targeted air cargo companies have air service related support handled air cargo from origin destination. Then air cargo rates and competition. So air cargo has become integral strategic weapon for firms that compete on fast delivery, low inventory strategy. So the competition is the average revenue per ton mile of air cargo carriers in 27 were $52.21 versus $6 for trucking and 29.99 cents for rail. So the difference is even impressive for the small package traffic handled by Federal Express or UPS. So the competition is the mode is between UPS and Federal Express. So water carriers, they have four classified into several categories in water carriers, such as inland, such as rivers and canals, lakes, coastal and intercoastal and international deep sea. So in 27, water carriers accounted for approximately $106.9 billion in revenues. So the majority of commodities shipped via water carriers are semi-processed materials like foil, oil, coal, chemicals, minerals, and petroleum products. So uh, water carriers are excellent transportation shipping mode for low-valued commodities in large quantities. So next.
So, my topic is all about relative prices for transformation goods and services. So, when we say transformation is about how organization makes decisions regarding pricing. So, when we say pricing of goods and services, it is a price exchange of value goods or services in terms of money. Price of a product or service is what the seller feels it worth it in terms of money in the buyer. So the United States had relatively lower prices for transformation goods and services in 2002 than did 15 out of 25 organizations for economic cooperation and development of the country. However, the nation top two overall merchandise trade partners like Canada, Mexico, and had lower relative prices in 2002 than did the United States prices. In Japan and the United Kingdom, both major U.S. trade partners were much higher than the United States. Half of the OECD countries that had less expensive transformation goods and services than the United States area developing transitional economy. Career selection. Career selection has three criteria, which is the cost, quality, and time. So career selections, this is the choice of transformation, is that most important elements in distribution management. Selecting the incorrect transformation mode can easily jeopardize a firm's operational efficiency because it may lead to higher costs and lower service. So career means it is a career refers to an individual or a company, a career who hold transport good from one location to another. Table 13.6 Relative prices for transformation goods and services for the United States and selected major trade partners in 2002 are the following. Country in 2002: Turkey 0.82, Poland 0.25, Mexico 0.98, Greece 1, USA 1, New Zealand 1.5, Australia 1.6, Hungary 1.6, Canada 1.7, Spain 1.16, Italy 1.24, Belgium 1.25, France 1.26, Portugal 1.28, Germany 1.45, Austria 1.45, Netherlands 1.45, Japan 1.47, Ireland 1.53, Switzerland 1.55, Sweden 1.60, United Kingdom 1.71, Denmark 1.94, and Norway 2.25. Sullivan's career selections requires carefully research and numerous economic trade-off transformation costs associated with movements of a product from one another location. In order to identify the significance of change costs can vary from 1% to approximately 35%, or the recommended selling prices for the specific item or product. The most important criteria to consider for carriers selection are competitive rates, customer services, transmit time, reliability, pickup and delivery service, availability of equipment, loss, damage claims, electronic data interchange, geographic coverage. Problem trained in the selection process is to reduce the number of carriers. The shipper gains competitive advantage over the carrier that usually result in lower cost and a higher service level. So, what are the determinants for career? So, shipper identified top factors for selecting carriers are reliability, equipment availability, service frequency, rate changes, loss and damage, and financial stability. After the appropriate transformation mode is selected, a specific within the mode must be determined. In the specific market, there may be a large variety of carriers to choose from. There are also maybe variation in price and the quality of service, depending on the shipper's needs, the type of shipments, and the quantities of shipper, perhaps better than using single shipper by diversifying the shipments. The shipper will achieve better prices and higher quality when more than one carrier is used. Evaluation of the carrier is easy. So career selections is a pricing is a determining factor when choosing the career ship and is usually among the first inquiries we receive. There are, however, two additional items to prioritize when deciding on a career, both quality and delivery time in additions pricing.
We're going to talk about career evaluation. So, once a specific career selection is made by the buyer, must routinely evaluate the performance in terms of consistency and quality service. Some of the performance measured should include on-time deliveries, loss, and damage claims and billing accuracy. So when it comes to evaluating career of a particular firm, one of the bases is the performance. When it comes to the consistency and a quality of service that a particular firm offered to its offered to each to other organization. So some are performance measured through using or include on-time delivery. So it will always met the given time or period which the product must be delivered. And also loss and damage claims, billing accuracy. So what talks about billing accuracy, it is um, it is correct. It is what is in the bill and it should be. So next is rate determination. The rate quotation process. So this is a process. Submitting rate quotation to shippers involves complex process. The complexity is the result of the millions of commodities that are shipped, but also the numerous origins and destinations over which these commodities move. So next is the rate negotiation. So from the word negotiation, the root word itself, negotiate. So the regulation has given careers from pricing freedom. Negotiating skills have become very important for both carriers and shippers. The carriers must become more aware of their cost and their resulting pricing strategy. Shippers must also become expert at buying transportation services. The regulation requires that both the carrier and the shippers become better managers. So both of them should be better managers in order to have a good negotiation. So from the word negotiation, which has a root word which is negotiate. So when it comes to business, we always come up to negotiating with our buyer as a supplier, and also both we need to rate. We need to see if how our supplier or whatever it is has been going to, or how they are going to distribute it or deliver their services or products that they are supplied to. That's all.
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Jefferson Padilla. My discussion is all about third-party relationship. There are several challenges that buyer face into order transfer logistic activities to a third party. The decision must include all of the parties that will be affected by the third party relationship. In some cases, third party logistic decision is made in the finance department and not at the operation and logistic level in the shipper firm. na sila yung mga hamon na kailangan ilang atubangon para mamili sila para sa laing aktibidad sa logistic para sa third party, dapat din isama ang partido sa desisyon nila. These councils combine their effort to simplify the negotiation process with third parties as well as attempt to lower freight costs. So, gitapok daw tanan ang mga konseho ito ang ilang kargamito para daw simple ang pagprocess sa negosasyon sa ikatulo na partido ug apil ang pagbaba ng halaga ng kargamento. If the shipper only requires standard third-party service but desired a longer-term relationship, the binding process in appreciate, the shipper must carefully identify the communicate to the third party based on the date needed to describe the shipper business and service requirements. So, ang shipper ay nangangailangan sila sa karaniwang third party sa serbisyo tas nanganday sad sila og dugay na remasyon sa partido og dapat maingat lang ang shipper para tukuyon ang pag-ugnayan sa third party base. The scope of the operation section of the contract must be detailed and specific. Activities such as vehicles, spotting, loading and unloading should be assigned as the responsibility of the parties. So, ang saklaw ng seksyon ng operasyon ng kontrata ay dapat na detalyado at tiyak. Ang mga aktibidad tulad ng pagtukoy ng sasakyan, pagkarga at pagbabawas ay dapat talagang bilang responsibilidad ng mga partido. So next is many firms require certain liability, damage and rates and billing accuracy. So maraming kumpanya na nangangailangan ng tiyak ng kawalan ng kapanatagan, pinsala at mga rate at katumpagan ng pagsingil.
Hello everyone, I am Joy Importalio discussing the topic documentation, tracing, and claims. Documentation for transportation service such as a bill of lading, a tariff, a tender, a contract, a government transportation request, invoices, paid invoices, any transportation bills, or other equivalent documents including electronic documents. Documents in global transportation are essential because it is the legitimate proof that an item has been delivered. So, when a customer requests a proof, this is the document the seller produces to establish that the delivery was made. Tracing. Tracking the movement of a shipment property or even the temperature of a package. In general, track and trace is a task system implemented used by shippers or carriers to record the movement of parcels or goods during transportation. Claims. From a shipper or consignee declaring that a carrier breached a contract. A breach of contract boils down to shortage or full or partial non-deliveries and damages. The bill of lading should define the contract terms between carriers, shipper, and a consignee. Shipping documentation such as the bill of lading defined below must be prepared. These serve as the basic contract between the carrier and the shipper and they specify the commodities and quantities, ship, routing, rates, and carrier liability. So, it is needed on a regular basis. So, this document contains information about product, its destination, as well as the country of export. So, it is important for us. It helps to determine if goods are eligible for import and if the one subject to duties. Sometimes, shipment must be traced with a carrier. Barcoding usually used to track down a shipment. Loss and damage claims are reality of life even when dealing with a highly efficient carrier. This process is time-consuming and frustrating. That's all for the documentation, tracing, and claims. Thank you.
Bills of lading. Bills of lading convey the freighter act as both a contract for carriage and a receipt for delivery. So, bill of lading is the bill of lading is primary document functions as a contract of carriage, transport goods received, and a document of title of affording ownership. So, ang bill of lading is a legal document issued by a carrier or transportation company to a shipper that details the type, quantity, and destination of goods being carried. A bill of lading also serves as a shipment receipt when the carrier delivers the goods at a predetermined destination. This document must accompany the ship product, no matter the form of transportation, and must sign by an authorized representative from the carrier, shipper, and receiver. Other notified bills of lading are negotiable and are similar to letters of credit. So, ano ni siya? Legal document kaya nakapamutuon niya. Asa siya ihatod ang cargo. Number 2, self-purchase orders convey the passage of title and are legal documents.
3 transportations purchasing examples. There are 3 examples of transportation purchasing: the Rose Laboratories, the Consolidated Stores, and the Copeland Inc. There are unique segments of the company of accomplished purchasing of transportation service of these 3 company transportation. First is the Rose Laboratories. Ang Rose Laboratories, ang ilang product is ang mga milk. The Rose Laboratories background, Harry Morris and Stanley Rose was founded the Rose Product Divisions in 1903. Morris and Rose Milk Company located sa Columbus, Ohio. Sila ang pinaka-first operated or old stand and dried milk trunk. Also, the first delivery milk glass bottles to homes. Like nakita na ko sa TV in other countries, ang ilang mga fresh milk na delivers door to door using bike or truck. So, the Rose Milk Company is the one who first delivers ang milk na gibutang sa bottle, ang ilahang product. They are also using Similac with iron infant formula. The Similac with iron infant formula, it can also help for immune support, brain development, and digestive health. In 1964, the Rose Laboratories nakig-merge sila sa world largest healthcare company, the Abbott Laboratories. Ang ilang headquarters is in Columbus, Ohio, with the facilities in Ohio, Arizona, then the Michigan, and the Virginia. There are some transporters names were changed to Big Lots Inc. The company has more than 45 employees, and annual sales nila was increased by at least 11% since atong 1991. The company opened 83 new stores and 105 new furniture departments. The company has stores in 46 states.
Distribution centers are located in Columbus, Ohio, Montgomery, Alabama, Rancho Cucamonga, California, and Tremont, Pennsylvania.
Next is the transportation purchasing and consolidated stores. Ang consolidated stores transportation purchasing are the UPS, BNCF, CSX, the MC, and the KSC. The company is the largest trusted global shipping logistic. Also stock trade operated.
operators as Mitchus, Packers, and Keyline. They utilized railroad trunks, trucks, rams, train. The core steamship carriers are the Trailer Bridge, the Crowley, the Maveriars, Sea Stars, the CX lines, the Mixels, the Mixos, Yangming, Hanjin, Hyundai, and P&O Lloyd. The following criteria of consolidated purchasing transportation service is the requalifications of the carriers, transit and scheduled service, the service and the capacity, equipment and the power availabilities capacity, the price plus accessories ang ilang ratings, plus the relationship, integrity, trusted ba, and also na resolutions for every queries na mo-occur sa ilahang transportation service. The consolidated pricing process. Ang consolidated stores use both electronic and the conventionals for competitive system. Is conducted through via internet. The annual briefs conduct via request for the proposals. The bidders needs to fill standard spreadsheet of email sent to consolidated. Also, all contracts ang ilahang mga all contract ay be secures. Secures na ang ilahang mga contracts to negotiated contracts during the lower of the business cycles freeze prior to the heavy cycle. The motor carrier agreements nila are the easiest to negotiate because the consolidated knows the most and responsibilities are simplistic. So the most consolidated contracts range between 1 and 5 years lang ang ilahang contract range. Sa Coplan Inc. was founded in 1921 by Edmond Copland in Detroit, Michigan. Copland manufactures compressors for a commercial air conditioning. The company has more than 8,000 employees and alang gross sales is abot of 15.5 billion. There are 11 countries nga ang Copland manufactures in their products sa North America and Europe. The next is the purchasing at Copland. They maintaining a contract with 4 major steamship lines and 8 LTL, and the motor carriers is the truckload carriers and the 3 multi-mode carriers. Ang Copland carrier selection criteria is the service standard, geographic coverage, experience, and price, financial stability, natures of client base, and their relationship with the management. Lahi-lahi og kanang ang mga criteria ang the 3 companies. Pero ako basad na ang the nature of client base, the geographic coverage, and the service standard. The Copland pricing process is nag-base sila sa the same boat of LTL and the truckload carriers. However, ilang pag-negotiating is different techniques na ginagamit. In the case of the truckload traffic, ang mga prices nga ilang negotiate with aligns with the carriers and strongers. On the other hand, the LTL traffic is negotiated based on a frequency. Nag-base sila sa ilang frequency, ang ilang size of a shipment, then sa organizing locally or the region or local ba sa local ba or sa regionally. The competitive quoting process of COPLAN is the following. First is the set service criteria and expectations nila. The pre-qualified eligible ang ilahang bidders, then communicate with the qualified bidders kanang expectations, value, and the objectives, then set the rules of engagement, tas i-analyze nila ang RFU responses nila, then select sila og the best service product ang mga best selected nilang nga providers, then napag sila yung mga award contract, tas mag-implement sila og program. The couriers are petitioned to submit their best pricing packaging first. Then, ang COPLAN is wala sila na does not like to bargain. It seek quickly for a win-win solutions. Ang couriers nila who did not follow the appropriate guidelines sa ilang processed product be eliminated from selections of a process.